Hello and good morning. It is the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, and I'm going to pick up our son at college in La Crosse, Wisconsin. Our trip today is going to be a total of 306 miles. Our first stop is going to be at Dahl Ford, where I've charged before in some videos, and we have 34 minutes of total charge time between Dahl Ford, and then on the way back, we're also going to stop at Circle K in Rochester. Now, a better route planner originally proposed that we charge above 80% at Dahl Ford, and as we know, that's a waste of time when you're charging over 80% because it slows down so much, so it made sense to split it more so between the Dahl Ford dealership supercharger, or not supercharger, but DC fast charger, and the Circle K charger. I'm a little concerned, being that it's before the holidays, that Circle K charger could be busy. That seems to be a pretty hot spot for the Rochester area, so we'll have to see how that goes. I imagine there's a few people doing what I'm doing today. But yeah, the gasometer started at 323 miles at 100% charge. I did set a departure time, aka precondition the battery and the cabin, and we are predicted to get to Dahl Ford. It's not updating, it will on the screen here shortly. But yeah, it is 24 degrees out. There's a 7-mile-an-hour northeast wind, so shouldn't be too much of a factor. It's kind of more of a crosswind than anything, but very typical. Oh, here we go, 23% at Dahl Ford. But yeah, very typical kind of winter day driving here in Minnesota. So yeah, catch you at Dahl Ford. something I really appreciate about coming through Rochester is the abundance of DC fast chargers. There's a row of dealerships coming up here on the left that have blink chargers. You can see the Circle K where it says 17 minutes. That is actually on the return, that it wants us to stop there. But there's plenty of options here. So, like I said, I'm a little curious to see what happens on the return trip if the Circle K is really busy. I have used the blink charger here at the Ford dealership on our left one time in the past because I was at Circle K. I ended up splitting charging with a neighbor. So basically it's a 180 kilowatt charger, but when there's two users, it cuts down to 90. So I figured, well, I'll just go down the road and do a faster charge. The interesting thing was I could not get over 60 kilowatts at that blink charger, and I found it to be a frustrating experience because I thought something was wrong. So I switched chargers, and there was a connect fee of like 50 cents or $1, plus it was kind of expensive. So not a big fan of the blink charging infrastructure. Circle K for the win. I mean, 43 cents a kilowatt hour is pretty awesome, and that's everywhere without a membership. And then where I'm going here with Dahl Ford, it's only like 35 cents a kilowatt hour. So really appreciate that. It's the cheapest that I've ever used for DC fast charging. But yeah, between Rochester and St. Cloud, which I frequently drive through, lots of options, which is really good. Both of them have the anchor for me and Circle K. And I hope that Circle K continues to build out charging infrastructure because all in all, I'm very pleased with it. So I'm stopping in here for a pit stop. Joey and I might actually come here for lunch later. There is a Zeph Energy charger, so that could be an option instead of going to the Circle K. We'll have to see what happens. Well, unfortunately, the restaurant is not open. They closed last February, so we will not be coming here. And I checked the Zeph charging network, and it is actually 40 cents a minute to charge on that charger, which seems
your battery level may no longer be accurate.
Which seems absolutely outrageous. So I will only use that charger in a pinch. We drove 147.6 miles to this point at 1.6 miles per kilowatt hour. You can see 9% climate usage, 84% driving, 6% exterior temperature. I did not precondition the battery through Ford Nav for this charge stop. I think that, I'll take a look here quick. The battery temp is only 57, so it's about 10 degrees shy of what I've seen it before. It'll be interesting to see what charge speed we get. We are at 29% battery, and we are supposed to charge for about 15, 17 minutes, something like that. So I'll follow up with that as soon as I plug in. I think I'll get an update from a better route planner. Again, this charger is like 35 cents a kilowatt hour, and it's just got tap to pay. So there's no app that I have to use or anything. It's really pretty slick. I just use my Apple Watch, tap, and go. Took a little while to start communicating, but we are charging. I've only experienced about 110, 112 kilowatts charging rate at this charger. Right now it's, again, just topping out at about 105, 106. So we'll see where it goes. Let me switch to this so you can watch. Plugged in about 1104. So I don't know why that this particular charger does not go very fast. So you're supposed to do 17 minutes, get to 57% here, and that gets me to Circle K with 14%. I always charge a little bit more, so I'll probably go to like 65. So I might be here about 20 minutes or so. All right, we are finished charging. We're at 65%. So we have 149 miles of range on the guessometer. It was 27 minutes. So again, this charger is just slow. We added just about 51 kilowatt hours of charge. The energy cost was $17.83. And so now we are on our way. Let's get some of the details here. First, we got to pick up my son, and then we should end up at Circle K with about 22%. And by the way, it's already showing there's only 1 out of 4 chargers available. So as suspected, it's looking a little busy there. But we'll see how it goes. All right, so thankfully the better route planner was correct. The 4 green indicators suggest that all the chargers are open. We've seen them be down to 1 as we were on the journey. So total trip is 226.6 miles at 1.5 miles per kilowatt hour. You can see 9% climate use, 84% driving, 2% accessories, 5% exterior. This particular trip, since I left the previous charger, was 79 miles, 1.5 miles per kilowatt hour. The battery this time is at 71.6 degrees, so I expect that the charging rate will be pretty good. So let's get started. It says that we should be here for I need to go 48%. It says 12 minutes. We'll see what happens. Again, I'll go over. But yeah. So we charged for 19 minutes and 35 seconds. The total cost was $18.75, and we put in just over 40 kilowatt hours. Switching back to a better route planner. We're going to grab some lunch quick, and then we should be... We have 75 miles left, and we should get there with about 14% remaining. That's why I added a little bit more. We only needed to charge to 48%. I went to 53%. We backtracked a little bit to have lunch. So we're at currently 52% charge. We have 78 miles to go, and we should end up with 12% or better when we get there. We are at the end of our trip. I dropped our son off at home to run a couple errands. We are at 14% state of charge. We went 308 miles at 1.6 miles per kilowatt hour. 9% climate usage, 83% driving, 2% accessories, and 6% exterior temperature. It is 25 degrees outside. I want to make a point too. I got caught up in traffic earlier and people get concerned, well, man, am I going to burn through my battery? Actually, no, it's quite opposite. So when you're sitting there, speed really kind of kills your battery. So if you're sitting there going at a really slow speed, you're actually going to gain on your miles per kilowatt hour and your efficiency. The other thing is like, well, what about in the winter? Doesn't the heat suck the battery? Lightning Mike has a wonderful video on that particular topic. I think he went for like 6 or 8 hours and didn't put a huge dent in his battery. I mean, certainly burned some juice, but it wasn't horrible. So check that out. It's worth a watch if you're curious. But thanks for watching, and I hope everybody has a great holiday.